Imagine orchestrating one of the most audacious financial crimes in modern history, so large it defrauded an entire country of more than £1 billion. That's exactly what British trader Sanjay Shah did. Today, his name is tied to Denmark's most significant financial scandal, a case so infamous that it resulted in the longest prison sentence for financial crime in the nation's history, 12 years behind bars. So, who is Sanjay Shah and how did he pull off a scheme of such staggering proportions? Let's rewind. Born in London in 1970, Sanjay Shah was no stranger to ambition. A university dropout, he entered the world of finance hungry to succeed, working for some of the biggest names in the industry, including Merrill Lynch and Credit Suisse. By the early 2000s, Shah was making waves in London's financial district. His reputation? A sharp, risk-taking trader who understood the markets like few others. But life in the high-stakes world of investment banking was cut short during the financial crisis of 2008, when Shah found himself out of a job. Instead of retreating, he pivoted. He set up his own company, Solo Capital. Based in Dubai, Solo Capital marketed itself as a boutique financial services firm focusing on hedge funds and proprietary trading. But behind the glossy exterior of financial innovation, something much darker was unfolding. Shah's signature scheme revolved around what's known as cum-ex trading. Now, this is where things get technical, but stay with me. Cum-ex trading is a form of tax fraud that exploits how countries handle dividend payments and tax credits. Imagine this. When a company issues a dividend, some investors are entitled to a tax rebate. But what if you could manipulate the system to claim that rebate multiple times for the same dividend? That's exactly what Shah did, over and over again. Shah and his network of traders, lawyers, and bankers set up an elaborate system to submit fraudulent tax rebate claims to Danish tax authorities. The idea was to shuffle shares between several entities so quickly and in such a convoluted way that it appeared multiple parties had ownership of the same stock at the same time. As a result, they could all claim the same tax rebate. In essence, Shah turned Denmark's tax coffers into his personal piggy bank, siphoning off money designed to fund public services. Let's put this into perspective. Over 3 years, Shah's methods drained more than £1 billion from Danish taxpayers. To give you an idea of scale, £1 billion could fund dozens of hospitals, schools, or infrastructure projects. Instead, it disappeared into the pockets of financial criminals, with Shah masterminding it all from his luxurious life in Dubai. For years, Shah lived the high life, seemingly untouchable. From lavish mansions to private yachts, he exuded wealth and power, even brazenly claiming in interviews that what he had done was entirely legal. "Blame the system, not me," was essentially his defense, a disturbing commentary on the gaps in international tax laws. But Denmark wasn't having it. Danish authorities launched a relentless investigation. They worked with tax regulators across Europe, uncovering emails, documents, and financial transactions that laid bare Shah's intricate web of deceit. What made the case particularly challenging and groundbreaking was the international nature of the crime. Shah's scheme spanned multiple countries, requiring unprecedented levels of global cooperation to unravel the full extent of the fraud. By 2022, Danish prosecutors brought Shah to trial, and it was clear the evidence was overwhelming. Witnesses testified to the scheme's complexity, banking records exposed the flow of money, and experts highlighted the devastating impact on Denmark's public finances. Forensic auditors painted a damning picture. This wasn't a gray area of tax avoidance. It was outright fraud. Finally, in June 2023, the verdict was in. Sanjay Shah was sentenced to 12 years in prison, the harshest penalty ever handed down for financial crime in Denmark. The court's message was clear: no one, no matter how wealthy or clever, is above the law. But the case doesn't end there. Shah's conviction is a wake-up call for governments worldwide. As financial markets become increasingly global, so do the opportunities for fraud. Denmark's loss exposed vulnerabilities that exist not just in its own system, but in tax systems everywhere. The European Union and other nations have since launched task forces to close the loopholes Shah exploited, but questions remain. How many other Sanjay Shahs are out there? How many billions are still being siphoned from taxpayers without detection? For Denmark, the conviction marks a bittersweet victory. While Shah will serve his time, recovering the stolen money is a far more complex task. Much of it has been funneled through offshore accounts and shell companies, making it almost impossible to trace. And then there's the human cost. For every billion stolen by white-collar criminals, there are real-world consequences. Cuts to public services, reduced budgets for healthcare, and strain on taxpayers already dealing with economic uncertainty. Financial crimes may lack the violence of other offenses, but their impact is deeply felt in the lives of everyday citizens. As for Shah, he now faces a reality far removed from his former life of yachts and private jets. A 12-year prison sentence is a stark contrast to the luxury he once enjoyed, and while justice may have been served in the courtroom, the broader implications of his actions continue to ripple through financial systems worldwide. Sanjay Shah's story serves as a cautionary tale. It's a reminder of the dangers posed by unchecked greed and the importance of strong laws and global collaboration to hold those in power accountable. For Denmark and beyond, it's a moment of reckoning, a chance to ask not just how this happened, but how we stop it from happening again. As the dust settles on Denmark's largest financial fraud case, one thing is clear: this is a fight far from over.